Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. And welcome to everybody here on YouTube. It is finally time for me to get back to here on YouTube, and no Rooks, no delay, well, actually, I was just waiting for the NPCs to shut up, because there was an urgent quest that had just wrapped up here, and I wanted to wait for them to finish their little spiel before I got started here. But yeah, it's definitely interesting being back here on YouTube. We'll have to see how things go in terms of stability today. I did testing, and I think everything was working good, so hopefully everything holds. But yeah, anyway, you ever notice these little scorpions here before? It's just wanted to come into this with a little shot of, I guess, I don't know. I guess one of these is kind of a mother to or maybe it's mother father pair here with their little child scorpion here. But anyway, we've got new mini episodes today, so why don't we just go ahead and hop right into those here. Starting with this one right over here with Manon.
The signal is... Theoretically, it should be like this. Oh, when did you get here?
Just got here.
You surprised me again. You're pretty good at doing that.
What are you doing with that?
I was just collecting their data. Don't worry, I let Manira know about it ahead of time. What I really want to know about these tuners isn't so much how they work, but... I'm more interested in Nadara's power of song that they broadcast. Her ability has something to do with the relationship between her internal and external photons. Which would mean that it's something pretty similar to a technique.
That would make sense, I think.
But a technique with that kind of area of effect would require an incredible amount of photons. I don't see how anyone could pull that off all by themselves.
Well, just thinking back, I mean, main character and Matoy got powered up pretty well when they fought against Shiva, so maybe something like that is in play here. It's really early to say something like that, but it's just a thought off the top of my head here.
So, I thought I might start by looking into these devices.
Ah, yes, true. Alma's ability to stop time as well, yes.
But no luck, I guess. From what I've been able to gather so far, the tuner amps are not very powerful. So what that means is that Nadara herself is generating the vast majority of it. It's possible that she's tapping into some power even more basic than that used for techniques. I'm wondering if it might be what's known as magic.
Okay, yeah, magic is closer to Alma, but, you know, magic also brings up the original Phantasy Star as well into play here, but because that was magic that they were using there and not techniques. And towards the end of that series with Rune, he was still able to use magic instead of techniques. But yeah, it's interesting that they bring up magic now. Why don't you try asking Nadara?
That's a good idea, but I get the feeling that she may not understand it very well herself. But what we do know is that the power of song only passed down through her family line. And her power manifests differently than that of her ancestors.
Can't really say it's something genetic then.
In fact, now I remember her saying that her feelings come through in her songs. For example, the feeling that she didn't want her people to get hurt was stronger than her feeling that she wanted them to fight harder. That had an effect on enemies and weakened them.
I would argue that in gameplay that actually doesn't show up, except as just a cool little glowy effect on them. I don't recall them actually getting any weaker, to be honest, after multiple run-throughs of the mission.
No. I still need more data before I can even formulate a hypothesis. Regardless, it's impossible to totally quantify something like emotion. If it turns out that it's not possible to explain her power scientifically, then it has to be something supernatural.
I guess we'll see what ends up coming of that here. I did see that there was another one up here at the Oasis, so let's go ahead and check that one out. Over here. Radix, I know that that mission was split into 2 parts, so are you talking about the first part of that mission? Where it was just you until you eventually went up against the bouncers-like one? Okay, gotcha. Anyway, we got Nadara over here.
You, is it?
Is it safe to be all alone?
The enemies here are no match for me. Perfect timing. There is something I require your help with. I would like to ask you about the relationship we will be building between Retem and Aelio. Now that we will be cooperating, it would be proper for us to learn more about each other. I am not very familiar with the ways of Aelio, however. Other than military affairs, I know little of its culture and customs. As we are personally acquainted, I thought I could practice some cultural exchange with you.
In what way?
Come now, don't worry. Nothing more difficult than some simple conversation, just as we are doing now. What do you think?
Okay, I guess. I'm happy to talk to you about anything.
Is that so? Very good then. With Manon, I have had some exchanges about technological matters and the like. But I have not had much opportunity to speak with Aina. How should I phrase this? There are not many in Retem with a temperament such as hers. I find myself at a loss as to how to start a conversation. How do you usually interact with her?
Well, usually I walk up to a character quietly until they notice me and get surprised that I'm standing there.
What are her interests, for example?
You could ask about any special talents she has.
Special talents? I suppose for me it would be combat, or no, singing. I see. This has been useful. My thanks. Do you have a moment now? I'd like to know more about you as well. Let me see. What shall I ask?
Is the screen gonna fade back up here? Oh, there it goes. That one took a while. Alright, well then, let's move on down to the southwest. Yeah, Radix, that could be a hint, but we'll have to see if that actually plays out into anything. Yeah, no kidding, it's making it real easy to not have to worry about enemy encounters along the way. Alright, we got Hadi over here.
Greetings. What do you say? Would you like to hear an old story of mine?
Sure. Yes, very much.
Good. I've never really liked this place. This Alnoda. It brings back memories of that day, you see. I remember well that day, that Nadara sang in front of everyone. The entire audience fell silent as the color drained from Nadara's face. In a panic, I cleared the venue, but Nadara just stood there in silence, her shoulders trembling. Never once before or since have I seen her like that. Everyone had simply assumed that she had the power of song. It had always been passed down from parent to child. It's a power not to be displayed without proper decorum. Especially not when the wielder was young, before it had been fully mastered. When Nadara was very young, she would only ever sing in front of her mother, Aldelia. Back then, Aldelia once spoke with me in regards to Nadara's power. She said that one day, Nadara's abilities would surpass her own. Now that Aldelia is gone, I can no longer ask her what she meant by that. But what I think Aldelia sensed was not Nadara's power of song, exactly, but I think she was just confusing her own power with Nadara's, as it resonated with Nadara's singing abilities. In any case, from that day forward, until you people came along, no one truly understood Nadara's power. Of course, I've already told you the story of how Nadara behaved after that. She threw herself into studying the art of war, as if to make up for what she lacked. In an attempt to support her, we also threw ourselves into the pursuit of raw strength. Once Nadara stopped singing, the musical culture of Ritem sadly began to die out. Day after day, all we did was fight enemies and fall down exhausted at night. And then wake up and do it all again. At the rate we were going, Ritem arcs would inevitably burn out. But just as I was beginning to become seriously worried, you arrived in Ritem so gallantly. These folks will bring about a change for us. Looking back, it seems strange I was so convinced without any evidence. But when I saw you fight, that's what I thought. Of course, you know better than anyone what happened after that. Nadara's true power manifested itself, and Renis Retem was finally suppressed. And then music returned to Retem. Thank you again for everything you've done.
Fighting and dancing seem like two sides of the same coin.
Exactly. And Retem Arcs can't do without either one. It took many, many years for all of us to realize it. And now, thanks to all of you, it isn't painful for me to come to this place anymore. We are in your debt. And now it's our turn to try and repay you. If you ever need anything, please do not hesitate.
Alright. So a little bit about Nadara's backstory there. Nothing that really pushes the main plot forward, though. Let's head over to Retem City, and outside of there, it looks like there's another point we can check out here. Alright, Aina?
Oh, hey you. Perfect timing. Can we talk? What do you think of the people of Retem?
What exactly do you mean?
Well, they're good people once you get to know them. When we first got here, I thought all of them were really super scary. Fighting is part of life for them, so they give off this total only the strong survive vibe. Or like, they really believe that might makes right. Remember how uptight they were when we got here and Renis Retem attacked? They acted like they couldn't be bothered with some outsiders like us. But after getting to know them, I know that's not how they really are. When I made the effort, I found out that they're really kind. They even showed me how to survive in the desert. They told me all about which enemies I should be aware of, where to find food, and all kinds of other really helpful advice. A lot of them also asked me about Alio. They haven't interacted with the outside world much, but they are interested in it. It's just that they've been so busy fighting that they didn't have time for much else. And even their strongest fighters never brag. They look out for each other, protect the weak, and help those in need. Oh, and they also talked about Nadara a lot. I could really tell that they were doing everything they could to support her. Not only do they respect her, but they completely trust her to lead them. I can really feel how united all the people of Retem City are. When I stopped to think, it made me realize that the people of Alio Town are the same. I almost feel like I found my new hometown. Which means I need to do my part to be a contributing member of Retem Arcs too.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go slacking there.
I know I can do it.
Alright. And looks like we've got several more on the map here now. Let's head back towards Retem Alnoth. Here we are. Is this gonna be Hottie again? No, Ina's up here.
Oh, is that you? Were you listening just now?
I thought I heard someone's voice.
I was practicing singing. I try to do it where no one can hear me, but I guess you found me. Nadara's singing was so beautiful. She's such a good fighter and a good singer. It's no fair. Hattie and the others were amazing too.
So you decided to sing too?
Yeah, I thought it might be fun to sing along with everyone. Lately, I've been talking with Nadara often, and singing comes up a lot. When it comes to singing, she takes her practice just as seriously as her combat training. She's always trying to figure out how to best convey her emotions through her songs. Even though she lost the power of song and didn't sing publicly for a while, she told me she was still practicing the whole time. She is a really hard worker. I think that's exactly why everyone is so supportive of her. Manon said she didn't think that Nadara's singing would have any effect on us. But I feel like I can do anything when I hear her sing. Now that I think of it, we all used to sing in Aleo Town too. We used to sing and let it all out. Then we'd get a good night's sleep and be all ready for the next day. I think maybe song has a lot of power to begin with. I wish I could be like that. I wish I had some sort of special talent that I could use to help people.
Well, music can lift a person's spirits when they're having a bad moment, that's for certain, so... But I don't necessarily want to say that there's anything too specific behind that. I think that's just more in general.
Oh, that reminds me. Once, when I talked to Nadara, she let me see her room, and it's, well, it was super cute! She has little pink Rappy dolls all over her bed and stuff. They're everywhere. I wonder where she got all that stuff. Maybe one of her attendants made them.
That's true, Rooks, and I suppose it's also possible that Kuna was playing into that as well, back in the day.
Or maybe she did? Oops, she made me swear I wouldn't tell anyone about her room. Sorry, forget I said it!
Alright. And up next on the map, let's see what we got. We have another down here on Gulner Coast. Let's see who it is. Nadara, okay.
That's not it. I cannot seem to master it. Who is that there? You, is it? You are quite skilled at making yourself invisible. Impressive.
Are you practicing something?
Practicing? Yes, well, I suppose you could call it that. It is my dance lesson. I say lesson, but I no longer have a teacher. My family's gift is the power of song. But that power is not derived from singing alone. Only when song and dance combine as one does the true power manifest. That is what my mother always taught me. Singing aside, dance has always been a weak point of mine. Oh, how my mother used to scold me during my lessons. When I stopped singing in front of others, I stopped dancing as well. Now that I am singing publicly again, however, I can no longer neglect my dancing. And so I make the time to train myself daily in the art of dance. But having said that, however, I still find it difficult to be watched. If my dancing skills were a little more polished, I could perform for you and ask for your feedback. Or perhaps you could dance with me.
Sure, it's not just stage fright. I'm not much of a dancer.
I was only teasing. Before I can reveal my song and dance, I need to be certain that I've mastered them first. When that time comes, I want you to be there. Goodbye now. Oh, and no more peeping from behind boulders.
I'm not sure of the timing of this little mini episode, if it's supposed to be from before or after the task that basically has us prepare for Nadara's concert, which happens after the main story. So that's kind of, the timeline is screwed up here because all these mini episodes are being released sort of after the fact, unfortunately. Let's see. We've got another one near Ratem City. I suppose that could be true, yeah, Radix. And here we have Nadara again.
It's you. I was hoping I might talk to you, if it's not an imposition. It was an arduous battle. Of course, it's not over yet. But at the very least, we've reached a major milestone. In this seemingly endless battle against Renus Ratem, so many have given their lives in this struggle. If we had continued to fight on, alone, without accepting your help, I have no doubt we would have been defeated. The people of Ratem have long relied on their own strength alone to solve their problems. We asked for help from no one, we were proudly self-sufficient. It was always thought that that was best.
But they do at least seem to have some order because, like, for instance, we had Nara on the west side of the map, and then she appeared on the east side after that last scene.
In this land covered in sand, and surrounded by mountains, cut off from the outside world, our perspective became limited as well. When the three of you arrived here, many of our people viewed you with little but skepticism. Some even suggested that joining together with you in battle would dishonor us. In truth, it was because of these opinions of my people that I refused your offer at first. When I look back on it, such pride was foolish. You helped us realize the error of our thinking. You came to this faraway land and proved that your methods are effective. Seeing this, Jalil and Mohsen had a change of heart. And in truth, so did I. Allow me to offer you my gratitude once again. I cannot thank you enough for rescuing Ritem from this danger.
We all did it together.
There is truth in that. Every single time I come here, I always feel such a deep sense of shame. That feeling has not changed. But at least now I can tell them that they are finally victorious. The struggles of our predecessors have made us what we are today. And in the end, victory is ours. I can tell them that their deaths were not in vain. And the emotions I feel when I sing have begun to transform as well. By the way, there is something I have been meaning to ask you.
Oh?
How did it come to be that Manon knew the Song of Mourning?
She likes to research all kinds of things.
It is true that it has been passed down in my family for generations. It is also well known amongst my people. Perhaps it is not unreasonable that she may have heard it somewhere. Well, we've chatted at length. That's enough for now, I think. Why don't we pay our respects together?
Alright, and up next, looks like we need to head to Ramakid. Let's see if we can locate this first one here, on the outside. And then if not, we'll drop inside. There's one. Hey there, Dozer.
It's you. I haven't seen you and Ritem since the battle with Renus.
Did something happen?
No, nothing to worry about. Just a little periodic check-in with Hattie. We could have talked over comms, but sometimes it's nice to get together in person. Anyway, that's over. And now, I'm just taking a little breather. Hattie and I have known each other a long time. I remember that day long ago. Our squad was on an expedition to Retem, and we came under a massive Dolls attack. That's when I met Hattie for the first time. Our guys were hurting pretty bad, but Hattie's squad was even worse off. Hattie is a brave and capable Arks defender, but that day, he'd spread himself a little thin protecting his comrades. And then the Dolls attacked him from all sides. I lent a hand and helped get him out of a bad scrape. And we've been good friends and comrades in arms ever since. I guess we just understand each other. We're both casts and we're both loyal supporters of our leaders. When the war was going really bad in Retem, and none of us could even get away to go help, we lost touch for a while. But now we're close again, just like old times. And it's entirely thanks to you three again. I'm truly grateful.
Alright. Up next. Huh. I thought there was another on the map. Let me head inside McKeed lower level. I don't see anything. Oh, wait, there's one up here. Up here, it looks like. And that is Hadi.
Ah, it's you. Standing here with you like this, it makes me remember that day. I mean the day that I first met you folks. This is the one and only trade route between Retem and Aelio. I've met all kinds of people here. This is also where I first ran into Dozer as well. I remember it clearly. Back then, just like today, there was a large incursion of dolls in the area. We had people out here on patrol each and every day. And then, one day, my squad and I were here scouting around, and we came under sudden attack. We were heavily outnumbered, and little by little, the enemy closed in on us. I put my guys behind me and tried to protect them to the best of my ability. Before I knew it, I fought my way through countless enemies and found myself at the edge of the fight. And that's when I noticed. In addition to me and my squad, there were others here fighting the dolls as well. It was Dozer and his squad. At the time, his attention was entirely on the enemy, directly in front of him. He apparently hadn't noticed that another Dolls unit was sneaking up behind him. So, I instantly mowed that enemy down and got Dozer out of a bad scrape. And, well, we've been good friends and comrades in arms ever since.
That isn't exactly how Dozer tells it.
What's that? Dozer told you some kind of different story? Well, he was in quite a panic at the time. He may not remember it correctly. There was a period when the fighting was so intense that we lost touch for a while. But as of late, there have been more opportunities to talk to him and the others from Aelio again. We used to discuss military matters exclusively, but now we talk about everyday topics too. And you know, It's all thanks to you three. I'm truly grateful.
Alright. And up next... Ah, there's the one that went missing here. Let's head to lower level. Looks like he's gonna be somewhere on this side of the map. No? Huh. Which is weird, because it says investigating Lower McKeed here. Alright, then, if he's not there, then I would expect him to be, just as you head into there, then, so I've got to climb all the way back up again. Gotcha.
Greetings.
Well, that doesn't line up, does it? Between the subtitle and the voice. Is there something down there?
Well, the Alio people asked me to do a favor for them. They've requested that I investigate the lower level of McQuad here. As you, of course, already know, there's a broad open space at the bottom of this pit. And that space is filled with rows of large buildings. Old documents have these various structures labeled as energy plants. In other words, structures that house devices capable of producing energy.
Interesting.
Until now, Retem couldn't spare any manpower to learn more than that about McQuad. As far as we were concerned, the place was always little more than the lair of Renus Retem. But now, as it turns out, we have a little more time on our hands. So Alio asked that someone come and examine the place further. I've always been curious about it, so naturally I volunteered. Lately, Alio has been sending a survey team of its own to conduct all kinds of investigations. They even allowed me to help with things I've never even done before. It's been slow going, but I am learning more and more about the plants. For example, did you know that some of those facilities are still operating?
Uh-huh.
And apparently, the energy produced at those plants even helps supply Retem City.
Interesting.
The plants require no maintenance whatsoever. They simply keep operating forever on their own. I could never even imagine such feats of engineering. But to think that our lives were being powered by energy created in the enemy's stronghold Truth really is stranger than fiction.
Indeed, and it begs the question if that's what they were... It begs the question why they didn't smash everything inside there, unless there's something else going on, as I've suggested for some time. That's basically the doll's material down there. And perhaps there was no easy way to cut off the energy of Retem City without cutting off the rest of the whole thing.
I learned something else, too. Some traces of something having to do with the dolls were found in the McQuad facilities.
Aha! There it is, confirmation. Traces, what does that mean?
I do not yet know the details. All I know is that the Alio survey team found something that's connected to the dolls in some of the facilities. We had always made the assumption that the dolls simply found that big pit and decided to inhabit it. But if there is a deeper relationship between the dolls and those buildings, then something is definitely fishy. At this point, all we can do is speculate. I will be sure to let you know if I'm able to learn anything further. It's kind of nice, actually. Finding something else that could pique my interest as much as combat or music does. In a better world, perhaps I might have been a research scientist. One never truly knows down which path fate will lead him.
All right. And then it looks like that might be it for Retem. Now, I know there was still some stuff in Central City, so let's make our way over there now.
Hey!
I think Crawford wanted to see us, so let's head down there now. Yep, let's speak to him now.
Ah, glad to see you. I was just wrapping up a few Central Canon details. Thanks to the data Ilma sent, I've been able to ferret out all manner of technical problems. And it's all thanks to the three of you. My sincerest thanks.
Ilma is a cut above.
That's true. He often understands things in ways I hadn't thought of. He certainly is a fine engineer. How I met Ilma is kind of a funny story. One day, I saw that some anonymous comments had been made on data I'd uploaded to the library. The comments described errors in my work in meticulous detail. Incredulous, I re-examined my data, and sure enough, the commenter was right. Wondering who I was dealing with, I looked up the address. It had come from Kavaris. That immediately made me think of one person, of course. But I knew that Lysis, whom I had been in communications with before, had passed away. I contacted the lodge, and it was Ilma who answered. He told me that his mechanical skills were entirely self-taught. His free-spirited approach to problems was refreshing to me. I've been asking his advice on a variety of problems ever since. Including, of course, Central Canon. He's been working his way through the vast collection of research Lysis left behind. His ingenuity, combined with that logical mind, makes him second to none. I'd better work hard to keep up with him. Well, I suppose I should get back to working on Central Canon now. I have to make sure it's ready when we need it, right?
So, having viewed that now, does that mean that we're now going to not have that failure at the end of the fight? I don't know. By the way, what's going on down here? It looks like we're in the middle of Vertem here, to be honest. Anyway, looks like there's another point over here, so let's head over to Halfana Wetlands and make our way over to there. Somewhere in this direction, it looks like. Ah, all the way up there.
It's hard to get a good feel for what it's like from so far away like this. Oh, good to see you again.
Are you off duty?
No, I'm still technically working. I'm just taking a little break. I came outside for a breath of fresh air. Oh, by the way, I was just organizing the survey reports from the Kavaris region. Would you like to hear about them?
Sure.
Great, let's go over them. Currently, Kavaris is a frozen region, completely covered in snow. But records show that it once had a more temperate climate, and was lush with vegetation. Not unlike the way Aelio is now, I imagine. Back then, it was home to many people, and it was even more flourishing than Aelio or Retem is today.
There's definitely evidence of that from the Belagana area.
But then there was the Dark Falls attack, and Kavaris became almost uninhabited overnight. Well, overnight might be a slight exaggeration, but there's no doubt the environment there changed drastically in a very short amount of time. The data on that period is missing from the records, so the reason remains a mystery. Although they managed to defeat Dark Falls, the people of Kavaris were still forced to relocate. Many of them fled to Aelio and began building this central city. And they say some of them went to the Retem region too. Kavaris had been all but uninhabited ever since. The advance team this time is part of the largest extended operation in the region so far. For such a long time, defending their own regions was all Aelio and Retem could do. But now that we have your help, we've finally been able to make inroads into Kavaris. We really appreciate all that you're doing for us. I'm sure the advance team knows much more than I do about the latest conditions in Kavaris. Ask them anything. If I weren't so busy with my operator work, I would have liked to try out for the advanced team myself. I'd love to hear about what it's like there when you get back if you have time. I'll be waiting.
All right. And then we've got another one over here. There's Ran.
Oh, just in time. I'm thinking about putting together a report on the Stia region. See it? It's right over there. Would you mind if I run some of it by you first?
Sure, go ahead. I'd love to hear something about it. Although I think in this case I'd better play dumb on it. The Stia region?
It's a colossal volcanic island located on the other side of Halfia Lake. We have an advanced team exploring it now, just like Kavaris.
And you didn't invite me?
Although it's been several years since they first started out, they still haven't been able to make much progress. There are 3 things in their way. First of all, the interior terrain is really rough. Second, many incredibly powerful dolls have been detected in the area. And third, communications between the advanced team and Central City are not going well. The interior of Stia is like a multi-story structure, and the team has seen energy plants in there.
Energy plants? We just learned about things down in the lower levels that seem to be energy producing as well, didn't we?
They think that dolls production may be going on somewhere in there.
Well, there was always the suspicion that that it was definitely dolls material that was moving around in the lower levels inside those giant vats. Some of it being piped into that giant piston. I wonder now if maybe that giant piston was actually designed to help move some of that dolls material over to Stia then. Who is making dolls?
Well, we're waiting on a report from the advanced team for more details, but communication is slow. The team wants to recon the doll's production site, and even destroy it if at all possible. But Crawford won't authorize the advanced team to do that yet. He's saying he thinks it's still too soon. We do need to strengthen the defenses of each region, but we also can't just leave those dolls in Stia to wreak havoc. Both arguments seem equally valid, but we just haven't had the numbers to manage both at the same time. The team in Stia keeps insisting something truly nefarious is going on, but they've been unable to act on it. Those restraints may be released fairly soon. We've been building up cooperation with Retemarks and finally managed to make inroads in Kavaris. The repair of Central Cannon is coming along at a rapid pace, too. And it's all thanks to your help. We have no choice but to start putting more resources into the situation in Stia now. I imagine we'll have difficult battles ahead of us, so we'd better be well prepared. We want to do all we can to help, in whatever way we can. Well, I'll let you know if there are any new developments.
Alright, so we learned a major thing there, though, which is that the dolls are apparently made and not born, which actually does go towards some of the thinking I've had for some time now, that basically they potentially could be next generation Arcs race, in that they are, or rather the fifth Arcs race. Granted, we still don't have anything conclusive on that, but the fact that they are built instead of born definitely lends credence to the idea, and if anything, at the very least, that goes towards what I've been saying about them being effectively in the realm of soft robotics compared to casts as we know them today. So yeah, one other thought I have here now that I'm looking here. What happens if I turn around? What do you know? Central City seems to have a fairly straight shot at it, too. So imagine, if you will, for a moment, Crawford gets an idea in his mind to fire Central Cannon at Stia. Wouldn't that just blast a hole into that place and potentially destroy some stuff in there? Oh, and also, if there is such a facility, we actually seen it already. Or rather, I pointed it out in one of the Secrets of New Genesis episodes, and when I basically zoomed in on Stia from Retem, and I was able to find the outline of that building, which was basically untextured at the time. So yeah, a lot of pieces are falling into place here, and I'm loving that I'm getting all these W's on my theories here. Alright, let's see who else is around. Don't see anybody else in Central, or rather in Alio. Let me see if anybody popped up in Retem again. I will say I'll still be looking for my engine, though, once we get to Stia. Okay, nothing else in Retem. Yeah, I was about to head to Kavaris. I just wanted to make sure nothing else had popped up in Retem. Okay, yeah, we got a couple up in here as well, so... looks like first we need to head over to the lodge. And we got Manon here.
Fancy seeing you here. Lysis dedicated his entire life to the revival of Kavaris. He spent every waking moment trudging through snow and ice to find out what happened. The rapid and violent change that took place in the environment during that war with Dark Falls. He left vast amounts of data in the Lodge study and the Lost Central terminals. At the Lost Central especially, in addition to files about the current state of the city, there were also plans for how to get it up and running again. To restore it to its former glory as the original Central City, and not just Lost Central.
Am I getting a hint of potential, my room functions or something?
My guess is that Ilma and the others will carry the torch for Lysis now. But there's no telling how long it might take them. And one other thing. There was data regarding Central Cannon in Lysis's report too. Kvaris arcs also used the cannon to repel the Dark Falls invasion. The records indicate that nearly 100% of the output capacity and stability have been preserved. That incomplete file about the Central Cannon that was in the study, Ilma finding that is how this all got started. When he shared the report with Crawford to get his thoughts on it, he also started trying to see if he could research it himself. And in the process, he realized that there was still more data to be found in Lost Central. You know the rest of the story. Now that we have all of the data, we should be able to make progress towards restoring Central Cannon. Lysis really did put his heart and soul into building a better future for everyone.
We will carry on his legacy.
Yeah, we will. Everyone is giving it their all. Not just for themselves, but for everyone. I've met so many amazing people while traveling with you two. They all have that in common, even if their circumstances might be different. How else can I help the people of Helfa? That's what I'm working on figuring out.
Alright, and we've got another one right over here. Hello, Mary.
Hello, and welcome! What are you up to today?
Are all your siblings fine?
Oh yes, almost too well actually. Ilma is devoting himself to his research, same as ever. Tyvis and Thule are competing over which one can defeat the most enemies. And Kuka often helps me with my work. None of those things have changed. But there are some things that have changed. Kuka goes out to do things with his brothers more often now. He helps Tyvis and Thule fight enemies. And he helps Ilma's investigations. I've noticed that Tyvis and Thule go out together a lot lately. Before, it always seemed like if one went east, the other one went west. And it feels like they help me with my work more often now, too.
Remind me, have the subtitles often not matched up to what's being said like this in the past? It's really disconcerting.
Helping me hunt tames or pick fruits and vegetables? I try to help them as much as I can, too. But when Ilma gets talking about his research, it's like he's speaking a foreign language. Speaking of talking, I chat with Aina and Manon a lot more now. Aina tells me about your journey together so far, and her memories of Alio Town.
Yeah, I get that it's common in anime, but I'm trying to remember if it's common in this game.
What a terrible thing it is. What happened to her? But she seems to feel comfortable talking to me about it. She says it's because we're both survivors. And that makes me so happy. And then there's Manon, too. She tells me about all kinds of things I'd never heard of, having always lived here in Kvaris. Like different creatures and other environments. She's not as difficult to understand as Ilma, of course, but sometimes I still can't quite keep up. Oh, by the way, do you have a little more time after this? I was hoping you could tell me some of your stories.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, wonderful! Let's go back to the lodge to talk then.
And she locks the door on me. Oh, actually, she's over here.
Just a little more. Oh, I didn't know you were here.
Are you talking to your family members?
Yes, to my parents and my grandpa. But to tell the truth, they were never actually laid to rest here. Not my mother, or my father, or my grandpa. I don't remember my parents very well. We were all so young when that disaster occurred on Mount Lotfa, and we never saw them again. That's why we were raised by our grandpa. The one who taught us all about how to live in this snow country was our grandpa. But then one night, he went out in a blizzard and never came back. The people of Aleo helped us search for him, but...
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Rooks.
we never found any clue about what happened to him. Ever since then, we've had to survive out here, all on our own. The Aleo folks recommended we move to Central City. But we had already decided to try and carry out our grandpa's dreams here. And that's how we ended up staying here. But things never really went well for us. Each one of us worked as hard as we could at whatever we were able to do. But we never seemed to mesh with each other emotionally. We fought over our goals and plans a lot. And we never could quite understand what we were doing wrong. And that's the way the years passed. We didn't realize our mistakes until Ilma's disappearance. After the three of you showed up. Thank goodness we don't have to live that way anymore. I'm so glad. Thanks to the three of you, I think we can move forward without repeating the mistakes of our past. Whether it's about Lost Central, or about the enemies you encountered down the road. If you ever need help with anything, just let us know. Because now, it's our turn to help you. There's not much I can do all by myself, of course. But with the 5 of us together, there's nothing we can't do. Now, let me promise you. Here, in front of my grandpa and my parents, I will support you in your battles in every way that I can. You can count on me.
All right. And we got another one over here. Got Ina over here.
Oh, hey! I didn't know you were here. Oh, I'm just about to head over to the lodge. I promised I'd visit Mary.
You two sure became fast friends.
Oh, we sure did. I've been stopping by to hang out ever since we rescued Ilma. For some reason, I felt like I knew Mary from the first moment we met her. I hardly knew any girls around my age until Manon showed up. Obviously, Mary and I were raised in totally different environments. And I figured out why when I saw her break up that argument between her brothers. People usually got along pretty well in Aleo Town for the most part, but when they would fight, they would get so tangled up in pride and status and saving face that they would never back down. So I would always try to go in and make peace. I guess Mary plays kind of a similar role with her brothers as the one I did. Or like how I was always there to make food for everyone when they would come home tired from fighting. It's nice when people enjoy your cooking, but it's hard when food runs out all the time. And how everyone was always asking me to cook this or that. When I talk to Mary about that kind of thing, she can totally relate. So we've been talking a lot lately because we have so much in common. Would you like to join us?
I wouldn't want to bother you two.
You wouldn't be a bother. But I didn't tell Mary I'd be bringing you along, so maybe it's not such a good idea. Yeah, well, maybe next time. Oh, look at the time. I need to get going. See you later.
All right. Got a couple more that have popped up here. Let's head over to Mount Ihana. Was there supposed to be something right here? Yeah, it looks like it. Where is it? Maybe down the cliff here. There she is.
Hey, come over here for a minute. Take a look. The view is beautiful. Every part of Kavaris is so pretty. But when I think about how this view is the result of a fight with Dark Falls, I'm not sure how I should feel. Whew, we're at high altitude. It sure is cold up here. I don't think I could have made it up here without these clothes. Manon was talking about how she can deal with this cold by stimulating her internal photons or something.
Well, doesn't that sound familiar to anybody that's familiar with the Arcs 1,000 years ago?
I'm not so sure about that. It's pretty cold.
Where did you get these clothes?
Oh, I got these from Crawford. Well, I guess it's more accurate to say my dad had them set aside for me. I guess my dad made a bunch of arrangements there, in case anything ever happened to him.
Speaking of, on the back of her there, isn't that the sign of Polaris? From Idola?
He generally was the type to just go with the flow, but I guess he did plan ahead sometimes. I feel like I'm just now starting to understand some things about him. I guess the fact that he set these clothes aside for me means that he predicted I would come here at some point. He never did teach me much about fighting, but now this makes me wonder if he was planning to get around to it someday. By the way, I notice you always wear whatever you like. Don't you ever get cold?
Well, I'm a cast, so nope.
Wow, is that a Meteorn thing too? It's so strange. Well, I think I'll look around this area a little bit more before I move on. See you later!
Yeah, they might be rooks. They might be, based on the Oracle arcs. Alright, we got another one in this direction here. Ah, actually, it's a little further to the east. Ilma.
Hmm? Who's there? Well, fancy seeing you. What are you doing here?
I thought I'd go to Lost Central.
I see. I was just collecting some samples here for my research. Actually, I'd like to go to Lost Central too, to continue my research. But Mary and the others yelled at me and told me never to go there alone again.
Well, you got me.
By the way, thank you for rescuing me a while back. There was so much going on, I don't think I ever said thanks. At the time, I had no idea all that stuff was going on outside. Communications were jammed, and there were all those tough dolls roaming around out there. I had some food with me, and there were mountains of research materials I wanted to go through. So I thought I'd just settle in and try to escape when I got the chance.
Well, I got my own theories about Manon, but we'll get to that in a Secrets episode.
I guess I probably should have left a note, or something. I was reading my grandpa's reports in the Lodge's study, and I came across a description of Central Cannon. Wow, that sounds cool, I thought. And before I knew it, I was on my way. I have a bad habit of losing sight of everything else when I get something in my head that I'm interested in. I need to work on that. But at least it got Central Cannon on the path to repair, right? And I got a good start on exploring Lost Central too, right? So the pros and cons kind of balance out in the end, don't you think?
I'll go with no on that one.
Seriously? Not you too? Mary, really let me have it when I got back to the lodge that day, too. Ever since then, I've made sure to let someone know before I go out anywhere. And I always call if I think I'm going to be late getting home. I try not to go off by myself too much. My siblings used to all kind of do their own thing most of the time. But now they check in with each other more and go out together a lot. Ever since that one incident, I'd say a lot of things have really changed. That's good, right? I plan to start putting even more effort into helping Aleo now. I'm going to help with Central Canon development and do everything I can to support them. And then the pros and cons should really balance out, don't you think? Well, I'd better get going. Thank you again.
We'll see. Yeah, that's for certain, you two. All right. Let's see. We got a couple more. No, 3 more to check out now. So, let's hit the one in West Cavaris. Hello again, Ilma.
Oh, it's you. I'm just taking care of a little favor for Crawford. Oh, that's right. Do you have a minute? Since we'll be working together going forward, I should probably tell you some things about Crawford and me.
Do the two of you have some kind of secret?
Nothing as exciting as all that. As you probably know, my family has never lived anywhere but Cavaris. The only people I ever saw or talked to were my siblings. Every once in a while, some Arx defenders from Aleo would stop by. But just to get directions or to exchange a little bit of news. The only other thing I ever saw was a vast expanse of white. My siblings are all pretty enthusiastic about Grandpa's old dream of reviving Cavaris. But for me, something has always seemed lacking in this kind of life, somehow. And then one day, I was organizing some data at my terminal when I happened to come across a research forum. As I was reading it, some data caught my eye. Come to find out later, it was written by Crawford. I happened to notice some mistakes, so I posted some comments. And the person started hammering me with questions. So, that's how I met Crawford. Well, I say met, but we were more like pen pals.
Don't tell me you don't even know what he looks like.
Well, of course, I do. Hold on. Do I? I can't seem to remember his face.
What about his favorite color?
But wait, we sent our profile pics to each other once. My picture was kind of old. I heard that you used that photo when you were out looking for me.
I actually confused some of your siblings for you.
Really? Sorry, you must have had a pretty difficult search then. I know all of us siblings look pretty similar. If we had the same clothes and hair color, you probably couldn't tell us apart. Anyway, getting back to the subject. Even without seeing his face, I can pretty much imagine how he feels just reading his reports. I can tell how passionate he is about a topic, or which areas he struggled with. I feel like we understand each other, even without meeting in person or talking. Even now, we still correspond about technology, mostly by writing. So our relationship has always been somewhere between just plain research partners and real friends. Lately, I've had more chances to correspond with other research scientists too, but their responses are never as quick and accurate as Crawford's. It's really made me realize all over again what an amazing man he is. Hey, don't tell Crawford any of this, okay? He'll get a big head about it. Well, that's it about Crawford and me. I bet a lot of people would think the two of us are kind of weird. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you about it. Well, see you later.
Alright. Why don't we hit up the one right outside Belogana ruins? Right where she appeared. Hello, Manon.
I had a feeling you might come. You always creep up on me at times like this. Let me guess. You're interested in that place too?
I heard a lot of people used to live there.
You knew that? Who did you hear it from? Lysis also mentioned this place in his report. The people of Caveris gave Belagana Ruins its name. They refurbished the large ruins that were already here, and turned them into a habitable place. Its population was on the order of Los Centrals. It was considered second only to the first central city. And then, 100 years ago, it turned back into ruins again. Caveris' technical proficiency at the time was far superior to Aelio or Retem's. They used to make vehicles that would be considered advanced, even by today's standards. They poured out all that ingenuity into their fight against the dolls. The weapons and manufacturing techniques they came up with made them quite formidable. But even with that, they couldn't withstand the dolls' onslaught. They ended up almost completely wiped out. The reason was that their Ark's defenders were subpar. They relied too much on their superior weaponry and didn't develop their fighting abilities. The foundation of every Ark's defender is photons. No matter how powerful the weapon, without ammo or energy, it's worthless.
No kidding! No kidding whatsoever, considering Phantasy Star Nova.
In the end, all you can really rely on is your own photons, and your ability to wield them. The Caveris Ark's defenders weren't able to do that, and so they lost. Or at least that was the gist of the information found in Lysis' data. I only got to see some of the documents, but from what I saw, he mentioned the war often. Not only was he passionate about his research, but he was an excellent Arcs defender. At a basic level, all Arcs defenders need to excel in both martial and scientific pursuits. On that point, it's pretty similar to how Retem's Arcs defenders think. Neither Aelio nor Retem have anything like the technology that Kvaris had at the time. But even if they did, they wouldn't have the capacity to produce it in mass. So they have to make do with the weaponry that they have. Which means that each Arcs defender has to actually know how to fight. There simply isn't any other choice.
Alright. And then we've got one more in Kvaris camp. Hello, Mary.
Huh? Are you here doing shopping too?
I'm preparing for battle.
Oh, okay. Well, I came to exchange some of our leftover food. I remember this place used to be completely silent and deserted. Sometimes some Arcs defenders from Aelio would come to do some surveying or excavation. But that was really only once in a blue moon. By the time you guys showed up, lots of people were coming here. It was kind of unnerving at first. I mean, I'd never seen so many different people.
Are they actually breaking the fourth wall here?
It wasn't just me either. My siblings always seemed to be on edge too. We were preoccupied with Ilma too. But then things started to settle down a little, and I started having conversations with them. And I came to find out they were all really nice. They'd ask things like, "Do you need anything?" and "Do you have enough food?" Some of them even treated us like their own children. We've always taken care of ourselves completely on our own, so that's what we were used to. But I feel like they taught me what it really means to take care of one another. Our grandpa always used to tell us to take care of each other, of course. But I don't think I really understood what that meant until now. It's not just superficial cooperation. Noticing when the other person is upset, or being able to ask for help when you need it. That's what taking care of one another really means. These kind people, and you three taught me that. Thank you again. I'm really grateful to you for helping us rescue Ilma.
We all did it together.
Yes, I guess we did. But if that incident had never happened, I think the 5 of us would still just be doing our own thing. Now, we know how to truly take care of each other. And these kind people, too. You too. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask. We'll gladly do anything we can to help.
Alright, Radix, thanks for tuning in there. Let's see if anything else popped up. So I do not see anything else in Kavaris. Let's try in Retem. Don't see anything there either. And let's hit up Alio. Alright, looks like that's it then. So we got some key information. Although they were still extremely vague about the lower levels in Retem, but still pretty darn close enough that, you know, I can definitely say something really good about what's going on down there. In that, you know, that's more than likely Doll's material that's being passed around in those vats, and that I guess now we at least know that that's being shipped up to Stia. The question now is really going to be, what are we going to find inside of Stia? I mean, like I said before, I've been calling for an engine to be there for some time, but now there's also mention that there's some sort of a factory or something there, which is making the dolls. So it's going to be interesting getting into that region in a couple of months for certain. Alright, so let me take a quick look at one other thing here real quick. The level cap did increase up to 65. And so I do want to try to get myself leveled up here. And for that, actually, let's head over to Kavaris Camp again.
What a coincidence.
So I had left some tasks unfinished here specifically for that purpose. So this is the one about collecting the red containers. We'll just skip through this here.
See ya.
And then we talk to Horsa again.
See ya.
And there's 1,000,000 experience points right there. We got Cristobal here. Alright, and in this particular case, they want me to take out a dread enemy in South Kavaris. So I'll go ahead and accept that.
Yeah. Cool. Later then.
We've got a task over here from Truxton. My name is Truxton. I analyze enemy data here on the advanced team. It looks like you fought a lot of enemies here in Kavaris, but apparently there are even stronger enemies here. I can tell you if you're interested, are you? So, for this one, we need to head to North Kavaris. And we need to find fruit and seafood.
Yes.
Okay, so here goes. Wait, before we do that, I need to tell you about Raydor Gorge. Those powerful enemies are said to inhabit that place, but in order for you to take them on, first you need special precautions against the cold. Rezo is in charge of supplies and equipment. She should have something that can help you. But it's a scarce resource, so don't expect to get it for free. You'll need to trade something of equal value for it. I'd like you to get notable Kavaris persimmon and notable Kavaris squid. First up, get some notable Kavaris persimmon. But there's something you should know about them. They can be found in North Kavaris, but only from morning to daytime. Outside of that, the quality drops dramatically. Be sure to check the time when you gather them.
Another time.
Alright, so, North Caveris. Actually, it might be nighttime right now.
Yes, I see.
Yeah, it's nighttime right now. Alright, so, we'll need to look for that when a little bit more time has gone by. My maggot's giving me a signal here, though. Let's see what this is all about. I thought I had that one. Well, anyway. I think I also saw in, Central Alio there was a task as well. Or rather in Central City. Oh, okay. That's a shame that they goofed on that. Yeah, it looks like Speeda has something for us here. Hey, so how was the exercise? Running clears up the mind and body. Alright, and then we've got a task here for clearing any field race board type. So we'll go ahead and accept that. Whoops.
Let's do this again!
And I think there's one right over here. Ah, the panel isn't active because I'm in a photo room. Missed that last step there. Let me try it again. And to come at it from the right angle here. I can't tell if I'm still having that same bug where it's just bouncing around or not. Anyway, that at least clears that one up. So that's another 400,000 experience points there.
Success!
Alright, up back again to Kavaris. Let me take a quick look at these again. So we need to take care of a dread enemy in South Kavaris. I think there was one along the coast, if I remember. Hey, Wolf. And thank you for the subscription here. So is there a dread enemy here? Doesn't seem like it. I'm curious how long this room has been active for, because that can sometimes be a factor in terms of finding dread enemies. Yeah, let me see if there's another room here. There's one. It appears I'm joined by someone here. Ooh, I've been frozen. Although my tentacles are still flapping there. There we go. And back to Kivera's camp we go.
What a coincidence. Oh,
Nice. How does it feel to take out some beasts like that? But it's you we're talking about. You've probably got 100 just like them under your belt already. You sure don't disappoint, do you? Keep that up, and I have little doubt that you'll successfully complete this Crucible program. Oh, what? You thought we were done already? Sorry to disappoint you. I thought I told you this wasn't going to be easy. Yeah, they were definitely helpful. I recognize you usually as Angel. I didn't realize that was Feel there. Come to think of it, no one on the advanced team's ever finished it. It'll be fun to see how far you make it. Let me know when you're ready for the next item on the menu.
cool. Later then.
Alright, that brings us up to 61. You ready?
Yeah.
Continuing on with the Crucible program, your next target is Dread Enemies in West Kavaris. I'm sure you're sick of Dread Enemies, but each area has different types, and the way to get stronger is to test yourself against a wide variety of powerful enemies. If you clear this, next up is Central Kavaris, and lastly after that is North Kavaris. If you can beat Dread Enemies in each of these areas, you'll earn your Crucible Program Diploma. Let's see what you can do. Prove to us that last time wasn't just a fluke. Alright, get on it.
Cool. Later then.
Alright, to West Kavaris then. And I'll say this, I could use their help again. I think there are Dread Enemies down here. Oh, I should check how long this room's been around for. How about this one? Oh, that room... 4 out of 32. Why is that room full? Alright, let's try this one then. Actually, looking at the time, maybe I should deal with the notable Kavaris persimmons first here. I think that was up in North Kavaris. It's not too long from when it'll go active. It's just maybe another minute or so here. Oh, I just got a signal there. Alright, so it looks like I've at least reached the spot, then I'm just waiting for them to show up once the daytime starts. It's a shame I can't just go into photo mode and grab them like that. Well, they said they don't show up until the morning, so... And we still got a few seconds of night left here. Yeah, there's the day switch now. And there they are.
Yes, I see.
Good, you got the first ingredient. Next, you'll need notable Kavaris squid. You should be able to find some in Central Kavaris. Be aware of the time of day. Notable Kavaris squid only come out at night. So, we're gonna have to wait on that now. So, now let me head back over to West Kavaris again. What room did I end up in? Let's do it in this one. Okay, I see a trial down there, but that's not what we're looking for. There's a dread enemy. Just need to drop down to it. Ah, it's one of the Malachites. That's one of its wings. This guy needs to work on his aim. No doubt about it, you're the real deal. Take a breather, come on back to camp. Alright. Good job. Back-to-back Dread enemy fights are a good workout even for you, aren't they? But next up, you'll be up against something even tougher. We need as many elite Arcs defenders as we can get if we want to prevent tragedies like Aleo Town. But not just that. We need to honor the memory of those who fell on the beach that night. You're probably wondering why I care so much about Aleo Town. I was stationed there a while back when I was still fresh out of boot camp. I know everything about that town. Gorora was very kind to me. I plan to win this war against the dolls for him, and I know you're of the same mind. That's why I need you to complete this program. You've still got room to grow.
Cool. Later then.
Alright, that's level 62. Done resting? Let's get back in the Crucible.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, your next task is suppressing Dread enemies in Central Caveris. Actually, this program is based on Gorora's daily workout routine. That guy would go around cleaning up Dread enemies in Aleo while he was out on daily recon. He used to make me go with him. I can't even count how many times I almost died. But that's what made me who I am today. I looked up to him. Watching his example is what motivated me to be the best I could be. I need that to be your goal as you gut this program out. Alright, so,
Cool.
Central Caveris this time. And if I remember correctly, I think there's a Dread enemy towards the end of the river.
Yes, I see.
You're there. Be sure to search for notable Caveris squid at night. If you can't find any, try searching on another day. In this case, I'm looking for a Dread enemy first, since there's still time left in the day. Let's see. How about this one? Alright, so let's see what he has to say this time. Good work. At ease for now. When I see you fight, I feel like I'm watching Gorora. That guy was strong, but he wasn't just strong. He was strong because he knew what he needed to be strong for. He knew his why. I have no doubt that he put it all on the line to lead and protect Aleo Town. I'm ashamed to admit that I didn't realize that about him until I learned of his death. Don't ever lose sight of your beliefs. Those are what spur you on to greatness. Anyway, that's my advice to you. We're about to fire up the Crucible for the grand finale. Let me know when you're done recovering.
Emergency announcement. We have confirmed the presence of powerful dolls in the vicinity of the Caveris region. All ARC's defenders, please prepare for deployment.
Well, looks like there's an urgent quest coming up as well here. Last test, here we go. At this point, the battle is with yourself. Do not give up under any circumstances. So, in this case, we need to take out a dread enemy in North Caveris.
Yeah.
Alright, you ready? Your last test is suppress dread enemies in North Caveris. Pass this one, and that'll be it. You'll be one step closer to rivaling Gorora himself. I know you'll make it happen. Now get out of here. Go show me what you're made of.
Emergency announcement. We have confirmed the presence of powerful dolls in the vicinity of the Caveris region. All ARC's defenders, please prepare for deployment.
Pretty sure I know where this one is. Let's go for this room.
Emergency announcement. We have confirmed the presence of powerful dolls in the vicinity of the Caveris region. All ARC's defenders, please prepare for deployment.
Yep, right down here. And it's another... Well, actually, this one's a Malacroix. Nice status effect there. Incredible, you made it all the way to the end. You completed the entire Crucible program. I'll be waiting for you back at camp. Alright. Thank you once again for your help there.
Oh,
You did it! That was an absolute masterpiece. When we lost Garora, it was a huge blow to Arx. But when he left us, just maybe he passed on the baton of hope onto you. I'm proud to know you. That concludes the Crucible program. Stay sharp by hunting down tough enemies every chance you get. You might even find new ones in Kavaris. As a graduate of this program, there's not a creature on this planet that you need to fear. I'll be watching your progress with great interest. I won't be slacking either. Iron sharpens iron, as they say.
Cool. Later then.
Alright, so that gets me to level 63 now. Looks like there was a task on Lydia here. Oh, they're talking about using the Arx ID. We'll just quickly skip through this here. Alright, so go into the personal menu and then into Arx ID.
Stop by again sometime.
There we go. Looks like you successfully created your Arx ID. Interesting, now I know a lot more about you. Well done. Next, try viewing another person's Arx ID. Anyone is fine. So you checked out someone else's Arx ID. I never get tired of looking at everyone's personalized Arx IDs. Hope you get great use out of yours. As you saw, I already kind of have a manuscript typed in there. Alright. So it looks like that's all the tasks that are left at this point. So now it's just a straight grind then, to get up to 65 now. Let's see. I actually need to look at the clock here.
Announcement. We have confirmed the presence of powerful dolls in the vicinity of the Retem region. All Arx defenders, please prepare for deployment.
You know what? There might be a chance for us to get this done before the emergency quest pops. The notable Kavaris squid at night. So let me actually... We're still gonna have to kill a little bit of time here. Are the new ranks in here? Yes, they are. Okay, so let's head over to rank 4 then. And let's see what this is like now. Let's see. Got a room that's not too busy here. This one should do.
Emergency announcement. We have confirmed the presence of powerful dolls in the vicinity of the Retem region. All Arx defenders, please prepare for deployment.
We'll just spend a few minutes in here until night comes. With any luck, we'll get a PSD burst to happen.
Trial start.
Oh, nice! Arms refiners are dropping.
Success.
Alright, we are ready to burst.
Trial start. Success. PSE burst.
And there we go.
PSE climax.
Oh my goodness, he whiffed over me. That knocked him down. Alright, looks like the emergency quest is gonna pop before the night starts. But I still want to, try to head up to, North Caveris first. And then, I'll pick up the urgent quest after.
Attention all Arcs defenders. We are beginning a counter-offensive against dolls appearing in the Pretend region. We request the participation of all Arcs defenders.
I just don't want to risk losing that. In fact, let me make my way up there now. It was Central Kavaris I needed to head to.
Attention all Arcs defenders. We are beginning a counter-offensive against dolls appearing in the Kavaris region. We request the participation of all Arcs defenders.
The way I see it, I just need to look for the, I need to look along the rivers, rather, for where these things are. But first I need to wait for the night sky to begin. Shouldn't be too long here. Hello, little snail. Oh my goodness, and look at what we got, a storm here. Well, if they're at the beginning of the rivers, then that should make it pretty quick for them to show up then. Yep, good call on that. I got one, I just need one more. There it is.
Yes, I see.
Great, you got them. Let's talk back at camp. See you soon. Alright, well, before that, let's see if we can take on this, this new, rank here. I don't qualify for it, because I don't have the required stats. 2878. What am I at right now? 2874. Okay. In that case, let's head back to Kavera's camp real quick. And the reason is we should be able to limit break our weapon here. Yeah, we can bring it up to 60 now. I'm going to need to grab 3 more arms refiners, so let me do that. There we go. And now I can just drop a bunch of Silver Prim Sword plus 20 into it. And that should push me over the limit. Yep, 29, yeah, 29.25. Alright, Brooks, I'm gonna go ahead and grab you for this one. And let's check out the the new rank here for Dustovera. Well, we were 1 away, but now we're 2 away. While we're waiting, let me speak to Truxton again.
Oh, what do we have here?
Oh, there it goes.
Attention all Arcs defenders. We are beginning a counter-offensive against dolls appearing in the Retem region. We request the participation of all Arcs defenders.
And here we go. I just realized I didn't do anything for food, I didn't do anything with a mag. Oh well.
Doll's presence detected. Look out.
Alright, we got the flyer in the sky here.
Trial start. Target eliminated. Nice.
And here we go.
Success. Trial start.
Gotta get a status down here. That's definitely a down there. Oh wait, I'm using the wrong thing. What am I doing? Should be McGid. There's a down. And break. And they are rocking out. Just my luck, he spun around. I gotcha. Alright, they're finally down and out of that phase. And down. Feel like we're probably not going to get another of those before the end of the battle. Got a break coming up soon. There it is.
Success.
And up they go. Alright, let's see what we got. It doesn't look like too much special here. Alright, so I still need to get a little bit more experience here. Let's head back up to Caveros Camp, because I think there was still one more task that I could do. And we were in the process of checking it out when we went into the urgent quest.
We are beginning a counter-offensive against dolls appearing in the Caveros region. We request the participation of all Arcs defenders.
What do we have here?
Notable Caveros persimmon and notable Caveros squid. It looks like you got both of them. Now on to the next step. Listen.
Yes, I see.
As I mentioned, Rezo is in charge of supplies and equipment. She should have something that can help with the coal. You'll need the 2 ingredients you gathered to trade for it. From the looks of it, they are well preserved. You'll know which item you need when you see the list. Alright, try giving Rezo a visit as soon as you can. You can gain low temp damage resistance from boost items and augment capsules. By combining items and region mag effects, you can ward off cold damage more effectively. Alright, so we need to do an exchange.
Another time.
Hi.
Yes, I see.
There should be an item that will give you low temp resistance. Trade something you currently have for it. Okay. So, 10 gathering material. And then the notable squid and the notable persimmon.
I guess so. Goodbye.
Yes, I see.
Looks like you got it. That is a disposable heat storage medium, and it will warm you better than quick food. When you'll be in Rajor Gorge for a long time, be sure to use them. You can increase your low temperature damage resistance to 100% in the following ways. Produce 2 region mag boosts all. That gets 20%. Then consume quick food that included any Caveros ingredients for 30%. Use a low temperature damage resistance plus 50% item. And then affix the Decold Standard 2 augment to 2 pieces of equipment for 30%. You can acquire low temperature damage resistant items such as low temperature damage resistant plus 50 from the Rajor Gorge Prep Supply Manager, Rezo, or occasionally as an item drop from defeating enemies in Lost Central. You can acquire the Decold Standard 2 Augment capsule as an item drop from defeating enemies in Rajor Gorge, or from the Rajor Gorge Prep Supply Manager, Rezo.
Well, what do we have
Alright,
here?
and then it looks like you've got one more. Now that you're ready, I'll tell you about the powerful enemies in Rajor Gorge. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, so this is going to give me another 1,000,000 experience here.
Another
But
time.
the thing is, I'm actually pretty close to the next level, which is going to be 65 here. Just looking at where I am... Yeah, I just need another 35,000 experience points. And I could just get that from a daily, if I'm being honest here. Yeah, let me head over here and just do a quick food. I'm not really even going to do much. I'm just going to have a mushroom, essentially. And there we go, level 65. Yeah, pretty simple for what was the last part of that. Alright, let me just check something real quick here. Yeah, so it looks like, really, at this point now, everybody's just going to be headed into the new rank in Retem to continue to level up there. I know I've got other characters I need to hop on to get them all leveled up to 65. Let's see. Just looking real quick, it looks like they added a new Ryuker device over to Mount Magnus, so let me take a quick look at that. Because I would love to pick that up.
Attention all ARX defenders. We are beginning a counter-offensive against dolls appearing in the Alio region. We request the participation of all ARX defenders.
I'm gonna assume it's on the other side of the mountain. There it is, it's almost at the top. So nice to have that collected now. Alright, just checking through just to make sure I haven't missed anything else. Let's see. We are able to teleport directly to region mags now, which is nice.
Mission accomplished. Thank you for your contribution.
Yep, there we go. Let's see. Weapons also now have a max potential of 5 instead of 4. You're able to gather party members at Ryuker devices. Let's see, magnification mode is back. They added a preview for music discs and voice tickets. I'm not going to do that. And then they added a bunch of options for like character motion correction and symbol art display. They added drop items to Megalotics, enhanced and equalizing enemies. And then also for trial rewards for field races, you can now get access to Might 4, Precision 4, Technique 4, and Deftness 4. And they added items that can be collected from the Trial Collect Stellar Pack in the Alio and Retem regions. New items to the item recycle list. And then there were all the balance adjustments, which is really nice that all those are in now. Increase the EXP rate for Megalotics enemies, increase the rare drop rate for enhanced enemies, and Gigantics, Megalotics, and Ancient enemies have all had their attack stats lowered. And also adjusted some attacks to reduce the brightness of their effects shown when players make strikes on enemies. yeah, the only thing that we didn't really see here was the new PSC Burst Sharp Encore, which I guess that'll happen in time on the show here. But for now, I think that's good enough here. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's show. Then we pretty much covered everything. I definitely need to now take what we learned from today, as well as a couple of months ago when the prior mini episodes came out, and really flesh out my ideas to get a new Secrets of New Genesis going. So that'll be I'll be working on that script, and hopefully I'll get that out before Stia comes out in December. But with all that said, that's gonna do it for me today. Thank you for joining me, everyone. This is Prince Brightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.